Yeah, we are live. Today we're going to talk about the by any means necessary mindset. Those of you watching the replay, comment hashtag replay. All right, so starting this off, by any means necessary mindset. When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, that's when you will be successful. I may step on some toes, but I mean well by it. Use it as fuel to get fired up, all right? Being a fitness coach, people tell me their goals, but several people also tell me lots of excuses for why they aren't reaching their goal. All right, if you say you have a goal, but you're always procrastinating, taking action, if you're putting off taking action, you're not serious about your goals. If you say you have a goal, but you're always making excuses instead of making adjustments, you aren't serious about your goals. If you're for real about your goals, then you're willing to do whatever it takes to get it, to accomplish those goals. You want it as bad as you want to breathe. It's a mindset first, and then your actions follow. Mindset first, again, and then your actions follow. You got to get your mind right. You hear people say, I got to get my mind right, coach. That's it. That's what we're talking about, all right? When I was a men's physique competitor, for those of you that didn't know, I did that for a little while. I did that for 2 years straight. I tapped into that by any means necessary mindset, all right? I spent the money on hiring a coach who could help me get to my goal because I knew that's what it would take for me to get the job done. I had an idea of what to do, just like people that come to me. Like, I know how to eat clean. I eat clean. People say they already eat clean, right? But it's the accountability. That's what it would take for me to get the job done. I knew what to do. I knew how to work out. I had an idea of what to do. I'm not going to say I knew what to do, but I had an idea, just like most of you guys have an idea of what to do to lose fat, to burn fat, to lose weight, right? But anyways, I hired a coach because I knew that's what it would take for me to get the job done. I can't afford it is an excuse. The same people that say they can't afford coaching when they know they need it, and when they know they need it, if you're obese, if you're overweight, you need it, because you're on the way to your health declining quickly, all right? Those same people that say they can't afford it are the same people that have bougie habits. They go out every weekend. They eat out 4 to 5 times a week. They get $5 coffees every day. They spend hundreds of dollars on unnecessary expenses every month. All right, again, if you're not willing to figure out how you can afford to invest in yourself and your health is the most important thing that you got, period. When I was feeling sick last week, I think it was Wednesday, I was in bed all day, all right? And I'm the type of person that I usually feel good most of the time. I usually don't get sick often, but when I do, I'm down. And, that's all I could think about was feeling better. So again, your health is number one. I say all the time, when that's off, nothing else matters. Like, everything else, for me that day, everything stopped. All right. So if you're not willing to invest in yourself and your health goals, you're not serious. All right. If I was a doctor or a specialist, and I said, hey, Mrs. Jones or Mr. Jones, you're dying and you will die unless you take this medicine every day. Let's say the bill for this medicine is $400 a month. Even if you couldn't afford that, I guarantee that you would find a way to afford it because you want to live, right? At this point, you've tapped into that by any means necessary mindset. As bad as I want to breathe, right? I need this medicine or I'm going to die, right? In order for me to get to my goal, when I was a men's physique competitor, I had to eat a certain way every day. There were days I didn't want to eat those meals, but my goal was bigger than my feelings. In order for me to get to my goal, I had to complete all my workouts every week. There were days I didn't feel like working out, but my goal was bigger than my feelings. In order for me to get to my goal, I had to make sacrifices every day. The last thing I felt like doing at 4 or 5 in the morning, whatever time that I had to do it, depending on if I had a client in the morning or not, the last thing I wanted to do was fasted cardio at 4 or 5 in the morning, but my goal was bigger than my feelings. So I got my butt up and I did it anyways. All right. In order for me to get to my goal, I had to get out of my comfort zone. I like being comfortable just like everybody else does, but my goal was bigger than my feelings. So I learned how to get comfortable being uncomfortable. All right. In order for me to get to my goal, I had to change several of my habits. I didn't always feel like committing to this, but again, my goal was bigger than my feelings. So I did it anyways. Why? because I was operating with a by any means necessary mindset. All right. I would have done whatever my coach told me to. Number one, because I was serious about my goal. And number two, if I wasn't going to listen to my coach, then why am I paying him every month to tell me what to do to get to my goal? All right. Excuses are for people who want to stay exactly where you are. If you want to stay where you are, keep doing what you're doing. Period. By any means necessary. That's the blueprint to success. It's the same with whatever it is we're talking about. All right. If it's school. All right. If it's school, you gotta show up first off. If you don't show up, well, first off, you go to school because you want a degree, and you want a degree usually because you want to pursue a certain career, right? All right. So in order for you to get the degree, you have to enroll in school first. Once you're enrolled in school, you have to pass your classes. In order to pass your classes, the first thing you got to do is show up. If you don't show up, you're not going to pass because most of the classes have an attendance grade. So that's step one. You show up. Next, you put in the work, right? You put in the work. You may have to write papers. You may have to take tests. Whatever it is you have to do, you do it. You don't like make excuses because they don't care about your excuses at a university. You can make excuses if you want. You're still going to get the grade that you deserve to get, period. That's that simple. So if you fail and you have excuses and you take it to your professor like, hey, like, blah, 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 whatever, they don't care. You still fail. They're like, well, you have to retake the course. It's the same with everything. It's the same blueprint. It's the same blueprint. Do what you're supposed to do. Like, and it's not going to be perfect. I understand. Like, we're all human. Things happen. We get knocked off. But when you get knocked off, you get back on. You still got to complete the task at hand. You got to do it. You got to show your butt up to class if you want to pass. You got to put in the work in school if you want to pass that course. And then once you pass that course, you excel to the next course and you do it again on a different level. And then you do it again on a different level. And you keep doing this until you've passed all the courses required for that degree that you're pursuing. And you get the degree. Then the next step is you got the degree and now it's like it's time to join the workforce. So what job do you want? You got to put in applications or drop your resume. You got to go to an interview. You got to show up prepared to the interview, right? You got to look the part at the interview. If you get the job, boom, you got the job. In order to keep the job, there's certain requirements. They don't care about your excuses. They don't care. You didn't show up to work on time. Why? Oh, you slept in. Oh, your car. They don't care. You lose the job if you don't comply to the rules. It's the same blueprint for whatever it is you're trying to do, baby, by any means necessary. If that course is too hard, you're going to figure it out if you want to pass. If you want to keep getting that paycheck, you're going to figure out how to get your butt to work on time. You're going to figure out how to get whatever it is you're supposed to get done at work. You're going to figure out how to get it done by any means necessary. If you care about the job, if you don't care, don't do it. You'll lose the job. You won't pass that course. You won't get your degree. It's that simple. It's the same with your health and your fitness goals. It's the same thing. And it's always up here. It's always up here. You got to take control of this because if you don't control this, it will definitely control you. We as humans tend to follow our feelings more than we follow what we should be following. We tend to follow our feelings more than we follow principles. Feelings, that's ET said that too. Feelings, there's nothing behind your feelings usually. I don't feel like working out, so you don't work out. So guess what? You don't get any closer to your goal. Or I don't feel like prepping my food for the week. So guess what? You go eat out and eat the things you shouldn't eat. So guess what? You don't get closer to your goal. I don't feel like going to class today. So you don't go and your attendance grade goes down. You missed that lecture that you needed to hear because the information was in that lecture that's going to be on that test. So now your test score is lower, right? Our feelings usually lead us. They usually don't lead us to where we need to go. I could keep going with this, but that's a whole nother subject. But principles, stick to those principles. Do what you're supposed to do. Put your goals above your excuses. Make adjustments. Keep working on that discipline, because discipline, we talked about confidence just a moment ago. When you're disciplined and you do the things that you're supposed to do, even when you don't feel like it, that builds character, and that character is going to last. That's how you build yourself. And when you build that character, you also build your confidence as well, because you know, like, hey, I went to the gym this week. I really didn't feel like going any days of the days that I went. I killed the workout. I prepped my foods. I ate my foods. I tracked my macros or whatever it is you're doing. I did that. And that builds confidence, because no one is making you do it. You're choosing to do it. You're choosing to be disciplined. That builds character, and that builds confidence. And that character is going to last. It's going to last longer than the excuses. The only person that cares about the excuses are us. We're the only ones that cares. Nobody else cares. Like I said, your professor in school, they don't care. You can give them a whole list of excuses. If you didn't pass the test, you didn't pass. If you didn't show up to class, you didn't show up. Same with your with your job, right? If you didn't complete or fulfill your responsibilities, you just didn't do it. They don't care about your excuses. If you didn't show up to work on time, they don't care why. It's that simple. By any means necessary. Something comes up, make the adjustment. Make the adjustment. If you fall off, it's okay. You fell off. Like, let's get back on. How are we getting back on? I'll give you guys an example. So this is pretty much my office. It just depends where I am. But when I'm in San Diego, this is pretty much my office here, unless I decide to go to a coffee shop or something and work there. But sometimes, like, I have little tasks that I have to do, and sometimes, like, I lose motivation to do these tasks. I know these tasks need to be done if I want to, be a successful online fitness coach, right? And I have to do different little things. I do, I put some music on, like if I'm feeling tired or whatever, because it's easy for me to just be like, you know what, I could take a nap. There's no one over my shoulder telling me I need to do this at this time, but I know I need to get these things done, so I have to hold myself accountable. So if I need to put on some music to get my energy up so I don't take a nap and get behind on my schedule, that's what I do. I do whatever I need to do. If I need a little bit of caffeine, keep me going, that's what I do. By any means necessary, baby. We got to get the job done. We got goals around here. We're not making excuses. We're making adjustments. That's all I got, guys. I appreciate you all for tuning in. If you found value from today's video, make sure you hit that like button. Get motivated. If you didn't get your workout in, there's still time. Get your 30-minute workout in. If you don't want to go to the gym, just, get up, maybe walk down the street, do something, do some stretches, do some abs in the living room, whatever you got to do, get it done. That's what we got to do. Peace and love, baby. Let's go.